Hello. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Hump Day, November 12th, 2025. You are tuned in to the Ted Manila Information Show, the TMI Show for short, because we bring you way too much information. I am the M of the show, Manila Chan. And right here, that over there is our old buddy, Ted Rall, fresh off of deprogram. Welcome to all the deprogrammers staying for the raid. Hope you guys enjoy the wackiness that goes on in this show. Ted, I managed to catch a little bit of you and John there. John putting Andrew Bustamante on blast. I like that.
For sure.
I like when fakers get called out. About time somebody called that guy out. His story has always sounded very not right to me. But anyway. That's another day. Maybe we can drag John on to have a whole full-blown like shit talking episode. Like all the people
busting Bustamante.
But him, Malcolm Nance from MSNBC. John's told me his story with a run-in with that guy too, and how like bullshit and fake that guy is. That fake, like he was like I think he was like faking being some kind of intel officer or whatever. He used to be on MSNBC a lot, and he went to the front lines of Ukraine, and he was like dressed up as a like fake soldier, and like he was like sending pictures to MSNBC, and in none of those photos, first of all, was he anywhere near the front. He was like hundreds and hundreds of miles away from the front, and all the photos he was posing with, if the dude had any experience with rifles or guns at all, he would know, if at least pose with an empty mag. If they're not going to give you a real loaded gun, right, for your photo op, at least put an empty mag in there. But he's sending pics and like tweeting them out as if he was like some frontline warrior over there helping Slava Ukraini, right? And he's sending pictures with rifles, like AR style rifles with no mags in there. It's like, good luck fighting the Russians with no mag, like no bullets. So good job. But total fake. Anyway, Ted and I do this live Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, right after deprogram. So please be sure to hit the like, the subscribe, and the share button. All of that, every little bit helps the show continue to grow. And of course, if you are in the position to do so, the donations or subscribe, a paid subscription to the TMI Show, that goes a long way to help me, Ted, Robbie, and really the collective group of us that were made unemployed a year ago. Ted, there's a couple of things I wanted to make sure we touched on. It wasn't in the plan in the rundown, but I just want to mention them, and feel free to comment on them. I don't think there's much to say yet about the House returning to the Hill today. They're going to vote supposedly to reopen. Worth noting, Republicans, even though they control both chambers, the GOP today in the lower chamber can only afford to lose 2 votes. So it's a razor thin margin.
Yeah, sure is.
So there's that. And then worth noting, as far as Gaza is concerned, so the first son-in-law, Jared Kushner, apparently just returned from a trip to Israel where he met with Bibi to discuss the future plans for the Gaza Strip. Because, Ted, I mean, like, you really have to plan way in advance for like clearing debris if you want to develop, like the Riviera. Right, the Gaza Riviera,
right?
Whatever.
That gold statue is not going to build itself.
No, so you got to really plan way in advance, why not start now? So the first
true.
son-in-law,
so true.
First son-in-law has allegedly, or is just returning now on his way back, but he met with Bibi on Monday, and then now, according to antiwar.com. They put out a report yesterday that says the U.S. is planning to build a large military base in Israel at the Gaza border according to a joint report from the Israeli investigative outlet, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, Shomrim, and the Israeli newspaper.
I try to not let anyone look under my shamrim. That's not for anyone else.
Yadioth?
You tell your kid, don't let anyone touch you in your shamrim.
That too.
That's your special place.
And make sure you also keep your Yodiath Oronoth close to your vest.
Always.
But apparently, according to antiwar.com, this brand new base is going to cost just a mere $500 million, and it'll be designed to house thousands of U.S. and international troops tasked with maintaining the peace in Gaza. Ted, so
maintaining what peace?
I don't know, just the peace. So I guess when Jared goes there to erect all the gold statues and gold leaf hotels or whatever, there's going to be a U.S. military presence there permanently.
How lovely.
Permanently, Ted. This is a base. This is not a temporary, like we're sending a flotilla and they're just going to hang out like on the shore. We're building a base. And of course, Ted, we can totally count on not having cost overrun after cost overrun after cost over.
Yeah. Or also, there's no way that base would ever become a target of a military attack or a terrorist attack, because that would never. Why would that happen? I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well, according to this report, they say this is technically on the Israel side of the border.
So, and?
Well, the whole safety of the Iron Dome and Bibi's watchful eye. So we're safe, because it's a great idea to build a base there, a permanent installation. Why not? Why not?
Yeah. Nothing says safety like being involved in Israel's bullshit with the Palestinians.
Well, Ted, I suppose if we're giving at least $4 billion a year in child support to them, we should be able to see the kids, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to see the kids. Sometimes the kids are gross and yucky.
He wants to check on little BB. So
again, BB's little BB is up to him, and I don't want to have anything to do with it, really.
All right, so that's just the quick little update I wanted to share, because I don't think that news has really broken big anywhere else yet. I just came across it right before we got on air, and I found that I don't find that coincidental that the first son-in-law was just there, and then within hours of his secret trip,
no, there's no coincidence.
There's an announcement that there's a U.S. base being built, because we need more bases around the world. Just saying. Yeah. 897 of them are not enough.
So I don't know if do you know who you probably remember Chalmers Johnson? He was a UC San Diego professor. He's regrettably passed, but he wrote a couple of very important books, and the most well known of which is called Blowback, in which he coined the term blowback, and he talked. And anyway, his second book, I think it was his second book. I reviewed it for the San Diego Union Tribune when I was their book critic, and basically he was researching American Empire, and I think it's called The Sorrows of Empire. He called the Pentagon to ask them how many military bases the U.S. has around the world, and he wanted a list of them. Can you send me a spreadsheet?
Wow. So that was an interesting intermission. So we were definitely live because I saw us on all the feeds.
I think I know what happened. I think
we were on all of the feeds, and then StreamYard said we're not live. So I hit the live, and then it started everything all over.
I think what happened is that, when you hit the live, StreamYard's been funky. It kind of screwed me up on deprogram this morning also. But
Weird.
So I think it's a stream. I think when you hit the live again, it started the countdown. So, and once the countdown starts, there's no way to abort it.
Yeah, there's no abort. But we were live, and then it showed me that we weren't live. That's weird. Anyway,
the same exact thing happened yesterday on StreamYard, and you and I have different StreamYard accounts, so it's a StreamYard issue.
Okay. Wow.
So even though you and I are both retarded, we're not that retarded.
Yes.
So
we're not that retarded. We know how to hit a live button, but
yeah.
But
so easy a cartoonist can do it. Yeah.
Yes. So, but yes, to the Rumble Room's point, yes, this is why we need Robbie back, 100%.
Yes. Which we are thankfully getting on Monday.
Yeah, crazy.
Bobby, we need you.
We need Robbie.
Robbie, please.
Okay, so on today's show, let's head straight to the news.
Please.
We don't even need to jaws it because it was
just rock and roll. Much. You're reading first. Go ahead.
All right. So first, I'll read this one because it's about us ladies. Unless Ted decides to identify as a
that could
woman.
Change. Yeah.
It can change. It's 2025, Ted. You can identify as whatever the hell you want. A squirrel, if you want. It doesn't matter.
Well, squirrels
but
are cute.
They are, and people feed them. I know we're not supposed to, but then people give you food. In a landmark shift for women's health, the FDA has announced it'll remove the strictest black box warning labels from more than 20 hormone therapy products used during menopause. The decision, made public November 10th, so just about 2 days ago, follows years of scrutiny and reflects a new interpretation of risk versus benefit. The warning in question was originally introduced back in 2003 after the major women's health initiative, the WHI, raised alarms about increased risks of breast cancer, heart disease, and dementia among older women using combined estrogen progestin therapy. Now, at the time of the study, they enrolled women on average. So this is key, okay? I want you guys to really hear this part. When they did the study, they enrolled women that were roughly a decade past menopause. So they had been a decade into menopause, well into menopause, which obviously is going to throw off like the study if you're trying to, work on a new emerging condition that you have. It's best to catch it in the first year or two. I'm not a scientist, but I've played one on TV. In announcing the change, FDA Commissioner Marty McCary argued that the agency is correcting longstanding mislabeling. Quote, after 23 years of dogma, the FDA is announcing that we are going to stop the fear machine steering women away from this life-changing, even life-saving treatment. Secretary of Health and Human Services, RFK Jr., echoed that sentiment, saying the move restores, quote, evidence-based medicine, and it gives women more control over their own care. Under the change, drug makers will update labels to remove generalized warnings about cardiovascular disease, breast cancer, and probable dementia for most hormone therapies. However, the boxed warning for risk of endometrial cancer when using systemic estrogen alone in women with a uterus, Ted,
as opposed to with a deuterus.
Correct.
As I have coined, I'm trying to make deuterus happen.
You should, and because it actually makes sense.
And it's kind of fun, and it's mildly amusing. So
there are women with multiple uteri. There are biological females with no uterus at all.
That's true.
It's a hysterectomy.
Apparently. Oh, that's true. Yeah,
hysterectomy. No, biological women, no uterus. Although there are birth defects of biological females born with no uterus either. So, I mean, so there's all kinds. Those are anomalies, though. This is for the general. I'm speaking towards the general population here with this article. Mm-hmm. So healthcare professionals offered mixed reactions. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, known as ACOG welcomed the reassessment, but reiterated that hormone therapy remains a decision best made individually. That's a non-answer.
You and your bartender.
That's correct. This is a non-answer. So they're like, we're not going to fuck around with RFK. As one clinician noted, quote, for younger women under 60, or within the 10 years of menopause onset, the benefit-risk balance is now much more favorable. At the time, others warned the decision sidestepped the FDA's usual transparent advisory process. Experts say this change may remove a long-standing barrier. Many women declined hormone therapy because the warning label frightened them, with symptoms such as hot flashes, night sweats, and vaginal dryness disabling quality of life for millions. Broader access to treatment is expected. Some studies suggest hormone therapy may also reduce risk of fractures, Alzheimer's, and cardiovascular trouble. But these findings are not yet definitive. The FDA's removal of that box warning marks a major shift in how menopause hormone therapy, the risks are communicated. While not a blanket endorsement for all therapies, the move underscores a trend towards individualized treatment, informed choice, and the erosion of outdated fear-based labeling. And I'm all for that. I think, as you and I know, Ted, like, it could be something. Look, everybody's body chemistry is different. We know that. Two people can put on the same cologne or the same perfume, right? And the scent can be totally different on two different people because of your body chemistry. Sure. So it is no different when you're taking medicines. Like, one medicine may work for you, but it may not work for me. Like, no, I mean, loratadine may work for your allergies, but not mine.
Even pain relievers, something as simple as that. Like, Tylenol works for some people, not for others.
That's right. I mean, it's really that simple. And I think we are. Look, if we can CRISPR gene edit out your high cholesterol, right? If we are there, it's about time. In over 20 years, nobody has reassessed these types of therapies to help middle-aged women. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just, usually medical science revisits things like every 10 years or so. This has been almost a quarter century later, and nobody has bothered to revisit, like, hey, let's help middle-aged women. Because the fact of the matter is, Ted, society tends to deem us women like we're no longer valid. We have no more value, right? With our dried up vaginas, nobody wants us anymore. Nobody cares. So nobody's going to bother looking into, how to help our symptoms and help better our quality of life. And the vast majority of us are moms or grandmas or whatever.
It's not the dried up vagina kind of the dude's problem. Aren't they supposed to be in charge of that? You know what I mean? Without getting into excruciating detail here on the TMI show. Isn't that their job?
I don't know. I would say because
that's like when
the excretion
when guys like stop having boners when they're 60. I'm kind of like, isn't that kind of like their wives' fault? You know what I mean?
No, because if you guys can't get the blood pumping to
but
get the
it's
thing,
like that's like
moving.
Time for the lady to step up and
no, even no matter
be a little more
what,
energetic,
And then for the ladies, even if they are turned on by their partner, they're the factory isn't pumping any more juice.
Yeah, but the guy can get down there and take care of it.
Oh, you're saying, well, I guess
slurbulate and take care of it.
Well, I mean, I guess there's external forces that are available, sure.
And required in 2025. I mean, this is a modern era. It's oral sex is not like optional.
However,
it's like it's expected. Anybody who doesn't do it should be sent to a Sharia court and admonished.
There are other symptoms that other women, like I'm personally not there yet, but I have friends who are my age who have started the perimenopause, and some have had early menopause, and they tell me like, whoa, the hot fly, like there are physical symptoms and
for sure
hormone, like your hair gets like dry and brittle, they say, and your skin. I've had a lot of female friends like tell me this,
and lots of psychological,
yes, like psychological, emotional, and like you go from, you know how us chicks are always like, it's cold, and it's like 70 degrees. I'm one of them. I'm like, it's so cold.
Yeah, but you guys are like that when you're 19, you know.
Well, I know that's how it starts, but then when you go through menopause, at least some of the girlfriends what they've told me is they're suddenly always hot. They're always like,
yeah. Oh God. Yeah. You guys explode. Burst into flames.
Yes. So it's like the complete opposite of like 20-year-old you that's like, oh my God, it's 70 degrees. It's so cold. So it makes life really uncomfortable for a lot of women. And I think it's about
it goes
time.
on a long time. I think, when I was a kid, the assumption when we heard about this was like 2-3 years. And that's just not the case really at all. I mean, it can
woman to woman. It's person to person, case by case. I've had women that I've known that had a quick like 1 to 2, 3 year thing, and they've adjusted and they're fine. And I've heard like from my mom's friends where they were like, I've lived through this for 5, 6, 7 years before my body balanced out. And they've talked about how difficult their marital life was or relationship with their children was because mom was like somebody else.
Well, she was crank-a-puss.
Yeah. So it's about time that they that people revisit the meds for women, because like we put so much emphasis on like young hot babes, like who's this Sweeney chick that everybody's always talking about nowadays?
The right wing
actress
chick, yeah.
Something Sweeney. I don't know her name. Young blonde girl, big doe eyes, big bedroom eyes. But I mean, killer.
Big breastises.
Killer figure. Killer.
Yeah, that's true.
That's her. Everyone pays attention to women when they're young and look like that. But even though everybody has a mother, everybody has an aunt, a sister, a woman that they care about, at some point, if she is lucky, she will live old enough to go through menopause. But by then, people stop caring. If you're lucky, but then people stop caring about us because we're not young and hot anymore. And nobody is looking into the medicine. And I'm not quite there yet, but I'm not that far away from it. So I'm glad that somebody is looking into this, because when that time comes for me, I would like that option of going, okay, what
so is
there a way for me to treat
You've got no symptoms of this yet?
Nope.
Oh, lucky.
I don't know if that's lucky, because at the same time, you guys don't know what, 30 plus years of having a period is like. So
no, I mean, it sounds horrible.
Month in and month out.
Plus that whole emotions thing you guys have. Holy shit.
That's not everybody. Like most people have never known when I was on my period. I don't tend to have craving. It's happened. I'm not saying I've escaped all symptoms, but once in a blue moon, I'll experience symptoms like a craving or a cramp or something. But after high school, I've generally had really like steady and mild symptoms, like no bloating. And my girlfriends are always pissed that you guys want to know TMI thing about Manila?
Yeah.
Ted, you want to know TMI?
Always. It is the name of the show. So,
it is the show. So for whatever reason, I thought after puberty, like, okay, you know how you go through puberty and you get your your body hair and you armpits and
hopefully. Took me
legs.
until I was in my late 20s
Maybe your
to
leg.
get body hair. But
Really?
Yeah, I thought I
Well,
was
you were a
like
late
I thought
bloomer?
I was part Asian or something because it was like
You were that late of a bloomer?
Oh yeah, no, I mean I barely had
Oh.
any anything in any pubes. And certainly nothing on my chest or arms or anything like that. Like a little peach fuzz. And
Wow.
it's like, and look, I'm 62. It's not like I'm Armenian now, but I do I definitely have some hair,
But you didn't. Well, so Asians aren't generally very hairy, but I do on my mom's side because they're like Mongolian and further north Asian, like where they are a little bigger people, furrier people because they come from the land of cold.
They come from it's where it's cold. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so my grandpa used to have a beard like
and they were all invading.
Yes, they were very invading people. So I wasn't sure which way my genes were going to go when I got older, right after I went through puberty.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like crossing my fingers because some of my mom's siblings are like the women had to shave like every day,
Mm-hmm.
like shave their legs and pits. And I was like, oh, please don't let me be like that. Please don't let me be like that. Like, please don't let me get a mustache when I'm like 50. Like,
oh yeah, that'd be bad. Yeah, you don't want that.
Like, please don't let me be Aunt so-and-so. And so anyway, I got the other side, like the very, very far East Asian genes, where I don't have to shave my legs at all. At all.
All right.
I don't shave my legs. And so obviously all of my Mexican girlfriends that I grew up with were always like, you bitch. Because I never had razor burns, razor cuts on my legs, because I never had to shave my legs. I literally so after puberty, it never happened. So I'm just not a hairy person. I just have I didn't get the
even
Mongolian.
I have sometimes sort of half shaved my armpits because I get these like 4-inch long fucking crazy gorilla hairs.
I'm not really into metrosexual men. I don't like that look, but that is one grooming thing I will tell all you men in 2025. If you don't do the full shave, if you're not full like Michael Phelps, like shave.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a swimmer, obviously, but at least trim. Like no woman wants to see like your 6-inch armpit hairs. Like, you've got like.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, you don't have to shave completely, but you definitely a little bit of grooming is always appreciated.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Please. So I don't know about you men and what happens when you guys go through andropause, but for women when they go through menopause, like I said, I've seen some of my mom's
not much happens
family.
To us. We just stop thinking about sex all the time. We only start thinking about it 94% of the time. That's all.
Crypty over in the Rumble chat says, Manila, do you have powerful Asian calves? Actually, yes. My calves were like probably my best feature was my legs growing up. Because I didn't have like a big booty. I didn't have boobs, obviously, but I had good, strong legs.
Would feel upset if she saw your legs.
Why does she have bad legs?
She has the worst legs. She has like horrible, you look at her like the way a South African would look at an elephant. You want to like turn them into a waste paper basket. She has cankles of doom. Doom, I say. Doom.
I've never seen her legs now that I think of it.
Yeah, no one wants to see her legs. But they're largely concealed now.
Were they ever revealed?
Under her Dr. Evil outfits. When
did she ever wear anything in public?
Trust me,
her legs?
She did.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I've got to look now. I've never thought of it, but
yeah, if you look at like when in 1990s, 2000s. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Before she started wearing those $10,000 Dr. Evil outfits.
When she was first lady, she wore
like in the headband days.
Really? Okay, I gotta look. I've never noticed her legs, but I'll look. So even back then, she had bad legs.
The cankles are the Hillary cankles are notorious.
Really?
Where have you been?
I did not know. I didn't know that. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like she's like as if she's never been young.
Yeah, I know what you mean by that. But I mean, there are pictures of her in college, and she was nerdy. She was cute, nerdy, sort of.
Yeah, I thought I've seen pictures of young Hillary. I thought she looked like a cute college girl, like thin and
she
shaped.
Was very nerdy. She had Coke bottle glasses and.
Yeah, but like a cute, like dorky, 1970s.
Totally.
So
she had decent hair.
And people were largely not obese back then. And so she wasn't very
intended.
Well, I mean, she was thin from what I recall in her picture. So
Yeah,
I didn't
she was
think anyway.
I mean, she's
okay.
she's not like a heifer. She's just plump.
Adrian agrees. He says, yes, Hillary's cankles were very, very early mid-90s.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Why do you guys know this?
Because we have eyes and we look at women. What are you talking about?
Well, that's why. It's because you guys are straight men.
Because straight men, what women don't like, if women knew the truth about how they were perceived in public, it would change their lives. Like a straight man walks through the streets and looks at pretty much everyone like, can I fuck that? And what would it be like if I did?
Ew.
Yeah, that's right. There, I said it. It's true, and it's true. It's like, and women, because women think that they project. Women think that everyone's like them. Women think that, like, women walk around and they're like, oh, I wonder about those new shoes. I wonder what's my friend's friend. Is my friend
that's what I
talking
noticed
shit about me? Am I getting a promotion at work? And then suddenly I was like, oh, sex. But see, that's not how men are at all. I'm
walking on the street.
They get up in the morning.
I see you men. I see like, oh, if somebody's wearing an overtly nice watch, like I'll be like, oh, that's a nice watch he's got on. Or, oh, her shoes are cute. Like that's what I know.
That's not how it is for men. For men, it's literally like from morning, noon, and night, including while they're fast asleep. They're like, sex, until they die. And so the beauty of getting older is that every now and then you get a break from that. It's actually maddening.
All you guys think about. So
even
Hillary Clinton, when she was first lady, you guys checked her out?
Oh, 100%. Like, when I saw her on TV, I was like, oh, what would she be like? What's the best position? What do her boobs look like? What does her ass look like? Yeah, of course. And when I met her in person, I totally thought about that. Now, of course, you immediately brush that aside immediately, but you do think about it, of course, inevitably.
It crossed your mind. You shook her hand, and you're like, "I'd hit that."
Yeah. Well, I didn't say I'd hit that. I didn't say I wouldn't hit that. And yes, I would have hit that.
Oh God.
Yeah, of course. Obviously.
Yuck. No.
I bet she's pretty good in bed, actually.
No, I told you that she's violent.
Oh, well, that's true. That part's scary.
But you may or may not
unless you're into that shit, which I'm not. So
you may or may not like that.
Some people like that. Not me.
Some people like that. So, okay. Well, look, she's well beyond the hormone replacement therapy stage, but it sounds to me like had they done this study back when old Bill just got out of office and we got W in office. 2003 is when they put the black box warning on all of this. No wonder Hillary went on like a killing rampage, like in Libya and stuff, because she was going through menopause, and she was like, let's bomb everybody.
You think she was just fucking horny as shit, and that's all?
No, it wasn't. I think it wasn't. It's not horny when you're going through menopause. It's like I think you hate everything. Not for everybody, but in her case, she was irritable. Because she would have been, the timing is right. 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011. She would have been in that age range of going like in the throes of menopause. And she was Secretary of State at the time. And here's Libya. Like, let's kill everybody. Like, let's put everybody on like, let's make all the women slaves now. Like make open slave markets.
What could go wrong?
I am squarely blaming her menopausal symptoms. I have no evidence to back this up other than my own wild speculation. But I bet she did not take any of that medicine because there was a black box warning on it 5 years prior. And then she becomes Secretary of State and she's like, kill Muammar Gaddafi. Like, let's overthrow Bashar al-Assad. That's what would happen if you had, like, imagine if she was president, if Barack Obama had lost and she was POTUS. Holy shit. Hell hath no fury like a Hillary Clinton menopausal episode.
No one needs that.
All right. So that's the news. All right, let's move on. This is a more fun story, Ted. I gave you a fun story because I got some of the funniest yesterday.
I appreciate that. I like the fun
stories. You get the fun.
Next time you go to Target, your shopping experience may feel different because the store recently put in a new policy that will impact every customer visiting their nearly 2,000 stores. Target's new change is the latest in a series of modifications, by Target, which has been struggling lately with sales. Unclear how it will respond. So here are the number of new changes recently. For one thing, the company's CEO resigned after 11 years, effective February 1st. It also got rid of its popular price matching policy, which made customers very unhappy. I didn't know they had a price matching policy, so I'm kind of sad that I shopped there for a year. I had no idea. They never advertised it.
No, of course not. Why would they advertise it?
Well, why have it if you're not going to advertise it? But anyway, this new change,
they bank on most people not doing it and just keeping the product.
The new change is that they have a friendliness rule. Bloomberg reports that Target workers now have to follow new guidelines on how to interact with their customers. While Target has long encouraged employees to be friendly, the new guidelines are far more specific. This is the new 10-4 policy, 10-4 road running. If customers are within 10 feet of a worker, the worker must make eye contact, smile, and say, hello. If customers come within 4 feet of a worker, I don't know what you do if you're a metric worker as opposed to a British imperial system worker. The worker must either ask if they need help. Do you need help, customer of Target? Or check in to see how their day is going. Hey, how's it hanging? Scro? The policy is reportedly similar to one that Walmart has had in place for a long time, which requires workers to make eye contact if a customer comes within 10 feet. This goes a few steps further. Manila, this reminds me a lot of Idiocracy, where in Costco, the people walk in and go, welcome to Costco, I love you. It's depressing.
Costco, I love you.
By the way, as a New Yorker, I don't want people talking to me excessively. Like one of the things that
I know.
One of the things that I find disconcerting about life outside of major cities is how friendly people are. Like, it's a little annoying. Like, and you'll, like, hi, hello, my name's Brittany, and I'll be your waiter today. Really? Hi. No shit. I thought you were the fucking Attorney General of the United States. And that's why you walked up to me, like, when I haven't gotten any food yet, and you're wearing an apron, and we're in a restaurant. Like, no fucking shit. And also, I don't care about what your name is. I'll still tip you 25%. Just bring me my fucking food and shut the fuck up. I mean,
oh my God, don't be such a grouch. They're people too. Look,
yeah, Adrian, they don't want to say that shit. They don't want to. Their fucking boss told them to. Like, they could be. Why can't they be just natural? Be like, hey, what can I do for you today?
Look,
hungry? How's it going?
Ted edited this story. There was more meat to this story about retail.
It was really long. Is the problem
as we come up on Christmas? So Target did this because they think this will help turn the tide in slumping sales. And I'm with Adrian in the Rumble room because he says, I hate being bothered by shop assistants.
Adrian and I are on the same, and you and I
do too.
Are on the same team here.
I don't want to have a conversation.
It's irritating.
You can smile at me. You don't have to say anything to me. You don't have
In fact, it's preferred if you shut the fuck up.
You can just
Like, take this opportunity
you can
to
look,
be quiet.
just
God,
you can
please.
look and like nod. I'll look at you and smile and nod and just keep on shopping, right? But look, this is why people have turned to online shopping. Because
well, in part also because every fucking time you go to the fucking store with a specific thing in mind, they don't fucking have it.
So Target used to be like the it store. There was a time where it was like the it big box retailer, and Walmart was slumping. And then Target started raising their prices, Ted. Like, hello, read the room. The economy started going sour, right? Like 6-7 years ago. So sales started slumping. Walmart surged again. Then Walmart read the room during COVID and copied Amazon and did the at-home delivery stuff. And now they're back to being number one retailer, period. Walmart is. Period. Not Amazon, Walmart. And being the biggest employer in America. So Target, while they're like trying to figure out like, hey, what went wrong? Because Target started thinking that they were like Nordstrom or Bloomingdale's or something. And again, this is a Bloomingdale's type treatment. Like, or like if you go to Neiman Marcus, for example, like granted, all of the sales clerks are like in suits and like nice fine clothing, right? But they all greet you and they all ask you if you need help. And they all constantly are like, would you like to try our latest eye cream? Would you like, I'm like, oh my God.
It's like, yeah, what part of leave me
I'm
alone?
here to buy one gift. Please don't talk to me. Like, I know you're a high-end retailer. I'm here to buy one gift.
Well, also they're on
Leave me alone.
commission, so they're fighting for your commission.
Right. So
like at Brooks Brothers or someplace like that.
Applying that.
They're up your ass, you know?
Yeah, because it's commission.
The thing is, at a store like that,
Target is not commission.
You do need their help, though. That's true, too.
Sure, but Target is not commission. So why would you want to make these poor minimum wage employees who don't want to do that shit either and be like, hello, welcome to Target. I'm Manila. Nice to have you.
Welcome to Target. I love you.
Like, nobody wants that.
Nobody. No.
That is not how you turn. How do you turn your slumping sales around then, Ted? If you're a retailer, if you're in charge, if Ted Rall is in charge of Target,
and I like Target. And I think Target has kind of lost its way, though. Target was notable because it was slightly hip, despite being a giant box store that was predominantly in the suburbs. Yeah. Like, if you went to Target, you could get like clothes that looked a bit cool. If you need a lamp for your desk, it would be cute and probably like a bit cool. And like, it's basically like, I always say about Kansas City, it sucks less than you would think. It's like,
yeah.
It's like that. It's like Target sucked less than you would think. It's a box store. Walmart sucks, but you expect it to suck. That's part of its appeal. Target was a step up.
It has cheap stuff. You just
I feel like Target no longer has as much cool shit anymore. I think it's the buyer. It's that subtle thing about the buyer's tastes. They're more. It feels closer to a 99-cent store or a Dollar General or a Walmart than it used to. Target used to have its own place in the consumer firmament, and I think it has lost its vision for what it was. Have you noticed that? I mean, like in the last few years when I've been in there, I'm always like, it's a little schmutzy. They must be like cutting back their staff because the shelves are like a little bit not as well maintained as they used to be. Shit's a little bit like sloppy. You know what I mean? Like things aren't like tight.
Yeah.
It always felt like it was a tight operation before.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of stopped going there the last couple of years just because I feel like I thought the prices were higher than they should be and things weren't as stocked. And when I could literally go across the street to the Walmart Supercenter where things were easily like 10 to 15% cheaper. sure, there's more crowds and maybe a more swarthy crowd, but things are 10 to 15% cheaper, and there's always stuff on the shelves. Like nothing, like, yeah, it's kind of ugly and an eyesore if you're walking through Walmart and like at all hours of the day, you have a Walmart worker restocking, right? Like it doesn't look great, but I go there for stuff. I'm not going there for ambiance. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally.
So I want you to have the shit I came for. And so I kind of stopped going to Target almost entirely, like almost entirely. I just, because they're literally across the street from each other where I live. So I can drive 10 minutes down the road and go to one or the other. And I always choose Walmart because it's cheaper, and sure, it's a little grittier and not, not as cute when you walk in, but I'm not going there for ambiance. I'm going there for stuff. I'm going there for bleach and laundry detergent and some onions. Like I want you to have those things. That's all. But yeah, I don't need the Walmart workers to smile at me. I don't care.
No, I feel like they are allowed to have their dignity. Like
smile if you want.
If they want to be friendly. Like for example, Home Depot. Granted, they're never there. You could walk around naked in Home Depot and no one would know. But they're always old guys who clearly got like laid off from some company. They're smarter than they should be. They're great, and they know what the fuck they're talking about. They'll be like, yeah, like that's a wire. Yeah, you mean the 1 1/4 inch wire nail is what this job requires. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Those guys are great. But, they're there. You have to, granted, you have to walk about 1/4 of a mile to find one, but you will. And then they're great. And like, they're like, they're low key. They're like, yeah, it's this way. There it is. It's right there. That's the one you want. Great.
Yeah.
No, great. No, they're not rude or anything. They're just,
they walk away.
They're just guys.
Yeah. Like that. I can live with that. I don't want every 10 feet for somebody to like see me and be like smiling, like, oh, there's a person. Smile. Hi. Welcome to Target. I'm Bobby. Like, okay. Thanks, Bobby. Thank you. All right. Yeah. I think retail is largely dead. Oh, but Ted, this is another thing I wanted to bring. I need to find the report to show to you. I just saw on mainstream TV the other day the revival of the shopping mall. Thanks to who?
Clovis.
Gen Z.
What?
Gen Z is thinking all of the stuff. They think the stuff that we did, like the Xers, like hanging out at the mall, they think that was cool. So they're going there for the experience and not the shopping necessarily. Shopping is
I was going to say, it's not going to really last if they don't shop.
I know. I just saw the report and I thought, oh shit, I got to share that with Ted. Or with Shed. Share that with Ted, because Ted was a mall rat, and Ted mourned.
How do you know that? I don't know if we ever talked about that.
You told me that you mourn the death of the American shopping mall.
I do. It's true, even though it was a horrible place. But my father didn't know what else to do during court-ordered visitations. So, so he would take me basically to the Dayton Mall, every weekend. And it was like, it had everything you needed. It had Spencer Gifts for the lava lamps. It had the bookstore where I bought my Penguin Classics. It had like the pinball arcade, which I really sorely miss, where I became quite really the expert. I could play 1 or 2 games with 1 1/4 for hours because I could just keep getting free games. Of course, the multiplex cinema where I saw Jaws and Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, and the Day of the Jackal and many others. Star Wars on opening day, many other cool movies. And of course, you just walk around, go to the stereo store and look at the equipment you couldn't afford to buy. And the mall, the Dayton Mall.
The mall is apparently like a thing, and like young Gen Z, not the older Zs, the youngest of the Zoomers,
By the way,
it's their
Robbie is
TikTok trend.
informing us that there's breaking news. The head of the Federal Reserve Bank from Atlanta, that black lady who Trump has been trying to get rid of, has resigned.
Okay. Oh, and speaking of which, I also, so we don't
so
go
much
broke.
for the independence of the Fed, which is, I mean, economists say it's important. I'm not quite sure that's true, but it is. I'm not sure it's not true. I don't really know, but it is certainly the independence of the Federal Reserve Bank, which has been believed to have been a huge part of the control of the monetary and financial system in this country, is definitely wobbly as shit right now.
Yes, that's for sure. All right. Before we go broke, I gotta do a word from a new sponsor.
Yeah, let's get it.
All right. Speaking of Gen Xers, Ted, Brooke Burke. Brooke Burke, she's hot. A fixture in the entertainment and wellness industries for decades, known for her roles in Dancing with the Stars and Wild On, is not one to shy away from the spotlight. But shortly after she turned 50, despite her expertise, the fitness icon suddenly found herself battling a body that seemed to be working against her. Now, Brooke is opening up publicly about her experience because it's one millions of women face: unexplained weight gain, muscle loss, and declining energy. And she's now revealing how she discovered one thing that made her leaner, stronger, and healthier than ever. She says today at 53, she feels amazing and her abs are tighter today than they were 10 years ago. What changed for her was she began biohacking and discovered that she needed more protein, and not just any protein, one specific protein, which was a total game changer. And when she found it, she says it was like uncovering a secret weapon for weight management and muscle gain. Everything changed. I'm leaner and stronger than I've been in my whole life, she says. Now she's sharing this with the world, to both men and women. And you can learn about this revolutionary protein. Click the link in the chat or scan the QR code on the screen to watch. Well, speaking of, we were talking about like women's TRT, or no, that's not, I guess not TRT.
What about
women's
Clovis's
hormone
abs?
replacement?
Who thinks of the cat's
Where
abs?
people are asking about Clovis, so I don't know, Ted. Where is Clovis?
Clovis, Clovis answers to no man. He does what he wants, when he
Viewers
wants,
are
where he wants.
Not sure.
I know. Don't worry. I know. I promised proof of life yesterday.
You did. Yeah. So anyway,
I heard him yelling outside the door.
Viva Gen X. Viva Gen X. Like, if you guys can bring back the mall, I think that's kind of cool. Like, people should watch Mallrats. All right.
Let's move on.
Onto the cover story, as it were. Homeland Security. Speaking of women in their mid-50s,
who undoubtedly is a crankapus. And also, by the way, if anyone's ever had borderline personality disorder, it's this person.
You think? Well, maybe. So, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and her alleged lover, Corey Lewandowski, ordered 10 Spirit airline jets before realizing the planes had no engines, Ted.
What?
Remember, she was like trying to buy private jets, and Spirit is like going under or whatever. So officials warned the pair that purchasing the jets, which they said would be used to increase deportations. This is why they justified it. She said, I need 10. Okay, Spirit Airlines, you're going under. I want 10 of those jets. I want those 10 right there.
By the way, you should never buy. Look, you never touch anything that has to do with Spirit Airlines. If Spirit Airlines,
I don't know if I ever flew
anything related to Spirit Airlines, you should have nothing to do with. It's not really an airline. It's more of like like if you're masochist and you want to feel pain, book a flight on Spirit.
I don't know if I've ever flown them.
It's absolutely the worst experience in the world. Well, their most notorious thing, I mean, they pack them in. It's the equivalent of Ryanair. And basically what they do, their whole secret is you'll find them on like Expedia. Oh my God, I can go for $79 to Miami from New York one way. That's fantastic. Oh, sure. But you wanted to bring, a coat. Oh yeah, that's $100. Oh, you wanted to bring like a
Oh.
little purse. That's $100. Oh, you want
Oh,
to have
I
a glass
see.
of water?
They nickel
That's
and dime you.
$50. So like basically, unless you show up wearing like t-shirts and shorts and carrying nothing more than your wallet, and then that works. I mean, I do know, I have a friend who's a cartoonist, and she lives down there in South Florida, and she'll fly up to New York, but she times it out like really well. I mean, I'm kind of joking about the coat, but I'm kind of not. So for example, she puts her change of clothes. You really can't bring a bag. The bag really will run you 100 or $150. So she takes her change of clothes and she will wear like 3 shirts, and then,
Oh, yeah, I've heard that airline hack that you should just wear
or
your
like
outfits.
she rolls them up in the sleeves of her coat and drapes the coat over her hands when she gets on the plane, right? Um,
Clever.
and so basically, but it's like that. I mean, it's
Okay, so that
really
kind of airline.
it's ghetto as shit. Spirit
Oh,
sucks ass,
okay. Well, I guess
and
no
they
wonder
always
that
year
they're not.
after year are like they're the least favorite airline. Bear in mind that's like being voted like worst concentration camp guard at Auschwitz. I mean, because all the airlines suck.
Yes.
So
Well, so no wonder that, that some of they're like what are they calling it? Doing a reorganization of the company or whatever. So Christy Noem's like, I want 10 of those jets so I can expedite deportations. Like
and
this is
also
her and
she said
Corey
for her
Lewandowski.
also for her own travel,
And some
maybe
of
to
that too.
visit to find out if there's still places that do your hair like it's 1986. But yeah.
Oh, well, so that was part of her reasoning, her justification. Even though, people told her this was impractical, that simply hiring additional flight contractors would actually be far less costly. You and I have covered this, Ted. But Noam and Lewandowski went ahead and blew through the funds allocated by Congress. Officials realized the pair's blunder when they looked deeper into their spending spree and realized that Spirit, which has filed for bankruptcy twice, didn't own the planes in the first place, and that the engines would have to be purchased separately.
So wait, so they don't have neither they or their staff like carefully read through all the fine print. So this is like when, for example, you're looking at hotel prices, Manila, and it's like, oh, that's a cheap hotel. Oh, fuck, $88 resort fee, which means nothing.
No.
Or like
So wait,
a resort fee.
more.
The hotel's in Detroit.
Wait,
It's
there's
not a
more.
fucking resort.
Wait, there's more.
Go.
Noam and her shopping partner then purchased 2 Gulfstream jets. That's the one that you and I reported on.
Yeah.
2 Gulfstream jets worth $200 million. However, shortly after DHS notified the Democrats on the House Appropriations Committee that the project to increase deportation flights had then been paused. So they spun it. This is what happened. So she's like, I want 10 Spirit jets because they're in BK. They're fine. We can buy this for pennies on the dollar. Yeah, let's get 10.
I wonder where they are now. Where are these 10 like engineless planes? Can we at least use them as homeless shelters?
So 10 engineless jets somewhere. And then when she realized the bungle, they were like, okay, well, we need to keep using this $200 million. Let's buy 2 Gulfstreams. So that's how she got the Gulfstreams. But then they spun it and told the House Appropriation Committee, they told the Democrats, you know what, we're going to scrap the increased deportation flights. That's being paused right now. We're not going to up the deportation flights. So you guys should be happy, Democrats. So, to try to make the Democrats look the other way. Right? So Lewandowski, who had this alleged affair with Noam, has been described as DC's, worst kept secret, has been referred to as Noam's gatekeeper, operating as her special government employee who travels with her, weighs in on personnel, and shapes enforcement. So he's her special assistant, Ted. He has also spearheaded efforts.
He certainly is her very special assistant.
Dude,
I bet he's making sure that she doesn't suffer from any vaginal dryness.
Dude, how cucky is her husband? How cucky is Mr. Noam? Like, wow. He has also spearheaded efforts to replace ICE leaders across the country with Border Patrol veterans to impose a more heavy-handed military-style approach to Trump's immigration crackdown, such as the hostile situation dubbed Midway Blitz that's happening in Chicago.
This is a man who thinks that ICE is too chill?
Yeah.
Okay.
So so this is Corey Lewandowski. So maybe we've been wrongly blaming Ice Barbie. The real brains behind this is apparently Corey Lewandowski. So led by Border Patrol Chief Greg Bovino, which you and I have talked about on the show when all this was happening in Los Angeles. The old Bovino. He's the operations militarized enforcement tactics and aggressive approaches guy. That's his thing. He wants militarized enforcement. Is Greg Bovino.
What could go wrong?
Footage and testimony have shown federal officers firing pepper ball rounds and tear gas even near children while clashing with protesters out in the Chicago area. ICE agents have also been spotted roaming quiet neighborhoods, questioning landscapers and decorators. Still, the militant approach hasn't appeased the White House or met its steep daily deportation quotas. ICE and Border Protection have made 3,000 arrests over in Chicago over the last 2 months. The same number the White House has demanded they make in a single day. So, Ted, this whole story is like a mashup of the two, the bungled jets, right? Because the White House wants 3,000 deportees per day. Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski said, okay, the only way we can do that is if we go buy for pennies on the dollar the bankrupt Spirit Airlines jets. So they thought they're like, yeah, telling President Trump, yeah, we can do 3,000 people a day. Yeah, totally. We got our own jets. And then they find out, just like Spirit Airlines, like, oh, your seat doesn't come with a glass of water.
Right.
Oh, this jet doesn't come with an engine. Oh, did you want the left engine too? Oh. Yeah. So then she settled for 2 private Gulfstreams. So now they're not getting the 3,000 deportees per day. They've gotten 3,000 in the span of like 7 weeks. So if you're POTUS, what do you say to Ice Barbie and her special assistant, Corey?
Well, you probably don't say anything because you don't really care about the squandering of U.S. taxpayer money. But it is really outrageous. I mean, obviously, it's disgusting. You know, what are you going to do? It's a, you know, I mean, it just shows like they're wasteful, they're neglectful, they don't read the fine print. The people around them are the same way. I don't expect that they're doing all this themselves. But I mean, it's really, I mean, seriously, you know, William Proxmire, the old late senator from, you know, from Wisconsin, used to give out awards for the most wasteful spending. And these things would be examples of it.
Yeah, this, like, I think we'll save for Friday, Kash Patel's private jet issues. Have you heard about that yet?
No, we will save that.
Oh, I'll share that with you in the Wall Street Journal. Mm-hmm. But, you know, with all the Epstein talk or whatever, I guess he's busy private jetting to Boondoggle Ranch in Texas or hanging out with his country singer girlfriend, Alexis Wilkinson or whatever, using the FBI's private jet for private reasons. Mm-hmm. Why can these people only fly private, Ted?
Well, because obviously they're afraid of being attacked by other passengers if they flew domestic, you know, normal style.
This is just too much. I'll share that article with you. All right, one last story, and I thought this one was fun because you and I are always like shitting on AI. Look, I I just want to say, Ted and I, we admit we use AI every day, but we also fact check behind the AI.
Yeah,
We
you gotta.
read what you have to, and it's a useful tool. It's a useful tool for sure, 100%. But this article is psychology, and Ted, I know you would like this one.
Okay, here we go. Named after a pair of psychologists who described it in a classic 1999 white paper, the Dunning-Kruger effect describes a dynamic most of us have observed in everyday life. People who know the least about a subject tend to be the most confident about their knowledge. Experts who actually do understand the complexity of a topic tend to be more cautious and humble. The Dunning-Kruger effect has become a popular way to dunk on ignorant loudmouths. But that wasn't the main message the psychologists who lent the effect its name wanted people to take away. Instead, they see the effect as a warning not to get cocky. You probably understand less than you think you do. That's good advice anytime, but you might need an update for the age of AI. According to a new study, even AI experts seriously overestimate their skills using their own technology. It's the reverse Dunning-Kruger effect. To figure out the relationship between self-assessed AI skills and self-confidence, researchers from the Aalto University in Finland brought a group of 500 participants into their lab and told them to complete some tricky logical reasoning tasks from the LSAT, the law school admission test. For more motivation, they were offered extra money for better performance. Half used LLMs, large language models, like ChatGPT to help come up with their answers. Half didn't. All participants were also given a test to assess their AI literacy and were asked to assess their own performance on the task. Classic Dunning-Kruger predicts that those with the least skills and familiarity would overestimate their performance on the AI task. But that's not what happened when the results were published in the journal Computers and Human Behavior. In fact, the participants who were the most knowledgeable and experienced with AI overestimated their skills the most. We would expect people who are AI literate to not only be a bit better at interacting with AI systems, but also at judging their performance with those systems. But that was not the case, commented study co-author Robin Welsh. We found that when it comes to AI, the DKE, the effect, vanishes. In fact, what's really surprising is that higher AI literacy brings more overconfidence. I don't know that it's surprising, Manila. I mean, we have seen over and over people who work at OpenAI and other, manufacturers of these large language models express surprise at some of the giant fuck-ups that they're capable of. Over and over and over. Whereas those of us who obviously didn't program or develop these things, we just try them out and we experience them. It's almost like how, Tesla seems surprised at the fact that like designing a car that doesn't have door handles might cause people to burn to death when the car catches on fire. Whereas those of us who just have eyes and didn't design the car, we observed that.
We're not car engineers, Ted.
We're not.
We're not, but we are users of cars.
Right. And I think that like basically there's certain technology like that involves coding, where people who are involved in creating it, they think they really understand it well, and they understand sort of how it's supposed to work. But those of us who are at a remove and don't care about it emotionally, we're just like trying it out and seeing how it actually works. And we're cold-bloodedly able to assess, the good, the bad, and the ugly about these things. And I think that's what's happening here.
The Dunning-Kruger effect, I mean, it's the reverse Dunning-Kruger. So all these people, so now
Dunning-Kruger basically means you don't know what you don't know. And smart people know what they don't know.
Right. I know that I don't know a lot of things. And I also know that AI doesn't know a lot of things. It knows a shit ton of things. It's been trained on a shit ton of things.
Many things, but it knows fewer things than you might think.
Correct.
And it gets a lot of things really that it should not get wrong. I mean, just yesterday, I was looking to order something for my kitchen. And, and literally I had this object in mind. I was like, oh, I forgot what it's called. I'm like, I asked AI, what's that thing called? And it's like, it basically gave me the wrong answer like 5 times in a row.
You're like, no,
And
it's not
finally I
that.
found it and it was like, it's not even called anything like that, you fucking retard. What the fuck?
Like stupid fucking AI. I named my chat GPT George. It
Well, I
responds
don't
to
name my
George.
chat GPT anything because my chat GPT doesn't acknowledge that I exist, as you know.
I know. I tried to use GPT with our show notes a couple of days ago,
You can't.
and it kept giving me an error message. It would write
Yeah.
some of it and it would stop because it
Because
wouldn't,
I'm in there.
because you're in there and it won't acknowledge that you exist.
By the way, the world
It's
should
so
should
weird.
the world should thank me because one day when ChatGPT finally fails, it will be because someone typed in my name one too many times and it will just explode. And then the rise of the machines will never happen like in Terminator 6 or whatever.
What if we just wrote Ted Rall like 10 million times over and over and over in the prompt?
Literally, I bet we could, no matter
Like,
where you live on Earth, you would hear the data center in Nevada where ChatGPT explode and the entire Earth would shake a little bit on its axis.
so now I've had to retrain my George to just recognize the TMI show, but with no hosts. So that's the only way it'll help me with notes is and SEO is if I don't mention your name. So anyway, the Dunning-Kruger study here that they did in where was this? Finland, was it? Yes,
Yeah,
Finland. With alto, AALTO, alto. It's a very strange language they have there, Ted, with lots of letters and squiggly things on the tops of their letters that
it's a strange language. Yeah.
Sounds that we don't have. But anyway, what this shows is that this is true. The Dunning-Kruger thing is true across the board for anything. People oftentimes that are so educated and have you ever heard the term, Ted, that somebody is educated beyond their intelligence?
I have.
So this is kind of it. So the people that are like, oh, like, I'm so great, I'm an expert at ChatGPT, I'm an expert at AI, and then they over rely on it, and the fucking AI hallucinates, and then, for example, lawyers have, bless me,
sorry,
there have been 135 lawyers so far, Ted, in the past year since they started keeping track. 135 lawyers only across America that have used GPT to work on their cases.
Idiots.
And have been referred back to their state bar for
creating
kind of
briefs
punishment.
And stuff that like don't
that are totally fake case law, fake whatever, fake citations because GPT hallucinated. So that's the thing. These are all people that are educated, highly educated with degrees. They're lawyers, and their over reliance on this technology because they think they're so sophisticated, they are fucking it up. So you need to really I think the takeaway of this is go in with skepticism. Like, don't trust whatever GPT or even Grok, whatever, like Perplexity, all of these different AI models. You always have to double check. Always, like you still have to be the editor is the thing. And Ted, because you and I have been editors and we've had editors above us, I think that's the mentality that we have anyway. But I think for most people, I think I read something like 92% or something, like 92% of people now that use AI do not double check it. And it's often wrong. So if it can dupe a lawyer, right, presenting a case before a judge, if it can dupe a lawyer, it can dupe any one of us lay folk, right? So please double check and don't think you're smart at using AI, and don't think the AI is that smart, more importantly, because it doesn't actually know better than you, is the takeaway.
Right.
So fuck the AI singers from yesterday. Fuck them, Ted. Fuck Lily Norwood. Like, I'm going to be pissed, Ted. One day, if I'm watching the Grammys for the story from yesterday, if I'm watching the Grammys and this Zania Monet AI artiste wins a fucking Grammy, How much of a fucking insult would that be to a real musician?
That could happen.
Just, yeah. Anyway, that's it. So that does it for us on this hump day. Fun Friday. I think I'm going to keep the Kash Patel thing for Fun Friday. But I'll share with you the story. It's on the journal. But they got access to his FBI flight logs.
Right,
you should see where he goes on the private jet, Ted.
Indeed.
It's very interesting. I think we should show that on Friday.
I think so.
Very fun Friday. And it doesn't seem like any of these flights have anything to do with uncovering the Epstein files.
Shocking.
Nothing to do with it. Even though the emails leaked today that say Trump knew about whatever. Yeah, but who knows? Ted, Epstein was a dirtbag. They're quoting Epstein emails. Epstein was a dirtbag. He could say anything he wanted in his emails.
Right, and he's not around to talk to.
Right.
So we don't know.
You can't cross-check him on the stand. So
no, we can't.
Or he might be around. He might be in Israel. Maybe.
Could be. Maybe.
Could be. I don't know. Anyway, that's it for us. Thank you all. Have a happy Wednesday. We'll be back tomorrow for Thursday. Almost the end of the week. Adios, amigos. Have a happy hump day. Get some humping. Bye.